What we want you to realize is that no one can hold you back. There is no assertion in this attraction-based universe. It is all attraction. And so, as you begin to play with this a little bit, as you accept that you are vibrational beings first and foremost, as you acknowledge that you and everyone that you are interacting with is causing you to build this magnificent vortex of creation, and that the source within you dwells there and experiences the fullness of all that you have asked for. And as you, little by little, tune yourself to the frequency of that vibration, what you will begin to notice first is that you just feel better. The edge will just lift up off of you. Next, you'll begin to notice that wonderful ideas are flowing to you. You'll begin to notice that your memories of your past are changing, where the good memories are coming forward and the memories that were not so good fade, and you can hardly remember them at all. You'll begin to notice that people around you are on your vibrational wavelength. You'll begin to notice that you're thinking something and someone right next to you, even somebody that you don't know very well, will verbalize it, and you'll look at them and feel such camaraderie, such harmony, such co-creative connectivity. You'll say to them, "You may not believe this, but I was just thinking those exact thoughts." We are so on the same vibrational wavelength. And then not only will the ideas flow, but connections of all kinds will begin to appear in your experience. Not because they are magically just being formulated out of thin air, but because you are tuning yourself to the frequency where you can now pick up in a receptive manner on them. And as you begin following that bliss, following that feeling of pure positive emotion, what you'll begin to notice is that your vortex will continue to expand and call you, and expand and call you, and expand and call you. And you will never run out of the feeling of surprise and delight, because it works like this. When you find an environment as magnificent as this, that inspires new desire within you all day, every day, and you simultaneously, as the new desire is exploding from you, are aware of where you stand in vibrational relationship to it, so you are bit by bit bringing yourself into alignment with each new idea as it comes, you begin to develop this steady, progressive path of delicious unfolding. We call it life in the vortex. But for those who don't know about the vortex, or who want to call it something else, for those who aren't aware that they are vibrational beings, who don't know that the source within them is calling them eternally, as they see you living life from inside the vortex, they describe you in this way. They say, "How is it that you barely seem to identify something as something that you would like to participate in, and it moves to you and you move to it? How is that so?" As they observe you, they say, "How is it that you are so clear-minded that a question occurs, but almost as soon as the question has been formulated within you, the answer begins to come? How is it that the answers are so fast on the heels of your questions? What is up with you?" they want to know. "How is it," they say, "that you can barely tip your toes into something that would be remotely recognized by many others as a problem, but before you even get your feet wet, the solution begins to show itself to you? How is it you are joyful mostly? How is it that you are fun everywhere you go? How is it that your timing is so precise? How is it that you maintain your physical vitality? How is it that you seem to move through time without decline? How is it that you remain physically focused, and yet there is something about you that seems otherworldly?" And to most of them, who are not ready to hear what you say about the vortex, you say to them something that is softer and simpler. You say, "Well, I have a philosophy of life that is serving me well. I believe in the well-being that surrounds us. I believe it is dominant. And because I believe it is dominant, I look for it. I focus upon it everywhere I look. And because I look for it, I find it. And when I find it, I focus upon it. And as I focus upon it, I practice the vibration of it until it's the only thing that can find me. I live in a world of well-being predominantly because well-being is what I look for. In fact, I have a mantra, you might say to them. Today, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for what I'm wanting to see. Because when I look for what I'm wanting to see and find it, I practice the vibration of that. And then my world is filled with things that essentially, things that in essence are the same as that. Oh, don't get me wrong, you can say to them. I live in the world, the real world, like you. And from time to time, I see those things that I'd rather not see. But I discovered some time ago, you may tell them, that whenever I know clearly what I don't want, I know equally clearly what I do want. And I've just learned to get off of what I don't want and onto what I do want as quickly as possible. When I was really little, I could feel that when someone praised me, it felt really, really good. And in the same way, when someone criticized me, it didn't feel good at all. And I recognized even when I was little that when I praised someone else, it would most likely feel good to them. And that if I were to criticize them, it would most likely not feel good to them. But what I was startled to discover is that every time I criticize anyone else, I don't feel good either. And so I've decided that there is a power in the way I feel. I believe, you may tell them if you want, that we were born into these physical bodies for the purpose of exaggerated and blissful expansion. And as I participate with those who surround me, I know that it's true of me and all of them that we are doing exactly that. But then somewhere along my trail, I figured something else out. Not only do I want to feel good, and not only does it feel really good to feel good, but I discovered that I have unconditional control of the way I feel. That was a big step for me. Because when I discovered that through the power of my focus, I could always find something that would feel good. And that if I deliberately do focus, that I can train myself into a frequency where only good feeling things can find me, my life started getting better right away. But then I discovered that there's an even deeper law behind it. I finally figured it out. I figured it out through my own trial and error, through my own exposure of my own life to the details that surrounded me. I figured it out that when I am in a moment of appreciation, it feels like the fullness of all that I am is right there appreciating with me. It's as if everything in the heavens is opened up to me, and my ability to see the positive aspect of whatever I am defining becomes fuller and greater. And I also discovered that if I do find something to criticize, it's like I empty out of me. It's like I go somewhere where the larger part of me does not go. You were source energy before you came into this magnificent physical body. And even though a part of your consciousness came forth into this body, the larger part of you remained non-physically focused. As you sift through the details of this life experience, you are constantly putting requests, and even more than putting requests, you are expanding into a vibrational version of yourself that you must keep up with if you are to live the joyous life that you came forth to live. You can't hold back from that which you are. You must go with the flow of that which you are if you are to live the joyful life that you have come to live. So as you lean in the direction of this pure positive energy, as you praise and look for positive aspects and really make a habit out of feeling that pure positive energy, and as you move into the vortex again and again, as you make that vortex the place that you usually are, as you recognize when you are there and you recognize when you're not there, then what begins to happen is the vortex, as it keeps moving to another level and another level and another level, as you keep keeping up with it, you keep being privy to the new insights that are there for you. Are you getting an understanding of what we're saying? This is what's been happening in all of these hours that we've been playing together today. You are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and up to speed with who you really are. And it's a rare one of you who is not really hearing everything to the depth and in the meaning that we are meaning it. Now, that doesn't mean that tomorrow you will remember it all or that you could even repeat it to everyone. But it does mean that you found a way to get into vibrational alignment with who you are and to know the fullness of who you are. And doesn't it feel good to do that, you see? So then what happens next is that as you begin to abide in this vibration of well-being more and more, and of course now you're getting feedback from others. Others are noticing that your life is going better, you're feeling better, you're having more vitality, you're having more stability, you're having more really good ideas. You'll have an idea or an impulse about something, and when you apply it, it really pays off. You'll find things just going well. You'll find yourself repeating the mantra, everything is always working out for me. It feels like the entire universe is just wrapped around me. It's like a concierge in the sky that is just opening doors for me everywhere I go, everywhere I go, everywhere I go. And then, and this is the part that we are the most exhilarated about expressing to you, because you're up to speed and ready to hear it, and it's something new that is hatched even as a result of the conversation that we've had here together today. And that is that, we touched on it earlier, as we said, you never get it done and you cannot get it wrong. But here's the way we really want you to see this. As you reach for this feeling of well-being inside your vortex, and you milk it and practice it and sustain it and succeed it, in other words, accomplish it, make it the vibration that is most dominant within you. And then you witness the manifestation that must unfold because it is law. Your acknowledgement of what worthiness really is will come full stream into your knowing. Because when you came into this physical body and you began exploring and you began making your statements of what you want and lived some life without the things that you want and felt the discord of wanting something that you couldn't figure out how to get, but then you became aware that you were personally, vibrationally holding this thing away from you because of your attention to its absence rather than your attention to its presence. And then you began focusing upon what you wanted until you trained yourself, or better said, till you allowed the vibration of your vortex, the vibration of your source, to train you into that higher vibration. So you've done this deliberately. You know what it feels like to be out of sync, and you know what it feels like to be in sync. And you get in sync on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. You're aligning on purpose. And the first recognition that you have that you are in alignment is that you feel better. You just feel better. It's that feeling of faith. It's that feeling of hope. It's that feeling of knowing. You just feel better. But then you get to see the manifestation of this thing that you've been asking for, and you know without any doubt within you whatsoever that it was your accomplishment of vibrational alignment that allowed the unfolding of these events. That is deliberate creation at its best. And we have to say to you that when you deliberately intend something and you recognize you're out of wackiness about it, and then you do something about that being out of vibrational sync, and you deliberately get into vibrational sync, and you revel in your alignment, and then you witness the manifestation, then you know what worthiness truly is. It's alignment, it's enlightenment, it's source flowing through you. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is delicious to come to an environment like this where you are willing to sit and listen to us with the express purpose of moving your vibration upward. We've had a wonderful day of unfolding into new places. There have been several things that we've never approached before, never even come close to before, that we not only came to, but the majority of us collaborated and understand it fully. We are eager about what's before you, not because what was before you played with us here was not pleasing, but because what's before you now that you've played here is going to be obvious to you that it has been enhanced by what we have done here today. In other words, as things unfold over the next few days, you will know without question that it is as a result of your willingness to experience this vibrational shift. It is co-creating at its best. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain eternally in the vortex.